Good morning. Well, at least it's morning for me on the 2nd of February 2008, and you're looking on a pleasant little park that could be most anywhere in Europe except I'm standing in Luxembourg, and this seemed like a very nice place to break out the camera and introduce you to this charming little city. After all, this big palatial building here, which I'm standing behind a tree so you don't see it really well, ironically enough, is an old folks' home sponsored by the Grand Duchy of Grand Duke of Luxembourg, the ruler of Luxembourg. So I just thought it was kind of funny that given Stacy's profession, that we haphazardly, without knowing this was here, wandered by another old person's home, like we did in Bangkok. And well, this one just kind of blows me away because it's clearly like an old palace and fancy old folks. But anyway, that's where we started, and from here we go this way. I don't know, is the use of old folks derogatory, Stacy?
Older adults.
Alright, yeah, I'm not politically correct. Imagine that. Me not delicate. Oops. Shocking, I know. But yeah, we're walking this way because, well, it's a nice expansive bridge. Yeah, you probably don't care about the bridge. You're probably wondering why you're looking at this red bridge for as long as you are. Aside from the nice, clean, modern designs, that's really not why I did that. Because, from the bridge we see a small spate of skyscrapers, and that is, current Luxembourg. But if you go down a little bit into a river valley, well, that's stuff of fairy tales. This is the old town of Luxembourg. I'm getting the impression it's not coming through very well on the camera, but one of the rivers is down there. I don't know the name. There's a viaduct there. There's an old town here. You can see it a little bit in the churches. And if we come across here, obviously you can see some ramparts. Luxembourg is built on a high bluff where two rivers intersect, and there's much of this grand scenery as we're standing on one of the bluffs in the north part of Old Town. Anyway, this is the first vista of it. I hope this looks as good to you watching this video as it does to me, but in my little viewfinder here I'm a little pessimistic, so hold tight, we'll find another spot, and hopefully you'll see the majesty of this place a little more clearly. Luxembourg, take two. Alright, now we're looking at a very similar scene. Essentially, before, we were kind of, yeah, see those ramparts? Yeah, kind of interesting, right? But we were that way, we're kind of looking, anyway, that's the viaduct you saw before. I don't think I can make this make sense, but what I did want you to see is just simply, this is the kind of the fairy tale nature of Luxembourg. Part of the outside of the city walls, that's what you're seeing here, although it looks like it might be washed out a little bit. We saw that viaduct the last time, but there, yeah, city walls. Once upon a time this was considered the most secure fortress and citadel in Northern Europe, and it has been a crossroads of trades for about 1,000 years for that reason. And yeah, Luxembourg has been continuously settled, and since the year 963, it's been the scene of many wars and much trouble, primarily because it's sandwiched between France and Germany, and even lots of trouble and turbulence and violence because of that. But the ramparts have been largely torn down. This is about one of the better scenes that you can see of it. I don't know, do we back out a little bit? Yeah, I guess you can see a little better. But anyway, now there's a few EU institutions here. There's about, I don't know, the city of Luxembourg is maybe 80,000 people. The country of Luxembourg is about 500,000 people. It's the third smallest country in the European Union, and it's got a real neat, laid-back kind of vibe. It's definitely a different place in France. It's definitely a different place in Germany. Definitely a different place than Belgium or the Netherlands. I highly recommend it. This is still Luxembourg. You can consider it Act 3 for our Saturday, the 2nd of February, 2008. I figured we've stood up on the ramparts enough. I should probably let you guys see what it's like down in this area. As I understand from the map, this is called the Gund area. Of course, I'm sure in the French dialect of Luxembourg it is pronounced entirely differently, but on the map it's spelled G-U-N-D. I would say Gund, but hey, what do I know? I'm an American. So, yeah, now we're down here, and by way of contrast, I believe the last time I took the camera out, I was right there. That's about right. Give or take a little bit, but that's about right. But I thought you'd really particularly kind of dig this. We got the sun behind us, the river flowing lazily, you know, the medieval buildings, and the ramparts. I mean, hey, what can I say? This place was described as a land of fairy tales, and I mean, hell, we haven't even left Luxembourg City. There's like, you know, forests and castles, and the only thing that's missing are dragons. I'm quoting somebody, I'm not that clever. Yeah, I mean, standing in a place like this, I kind of believe that. Yeah, I kind of do, even with the cars, you know, kind of ruining the vibe. Luxembourg take 4. Last camera we've got here. We're now looking at Luxembourg from another side of the ramparts, because that's kind of the old church, and on the other side of the church, kind of there, that church is like one of the major churches, and on their side of it, like roughly that way behind it, is the Royal Palace, or was once the Royal Palace. But anyway, I just wanted to give you one last view of Luxembourg, because while that's neat and all, it's the ramparts and the river. I can't do it justice in this camera. I really can't. But this is breathtaking. It's really quite magnificent. And even with the sun at my back to try and make the sunlight, you know, the lighting work, and try and capture some semblance of what I'm seeing here. Now, of course, the cars behind me certainly aren't adding to the ambiance, so I'll keep this short. Suffice to say, I don't think this looks as good to you as it does to me. Alright, we go that way. Our hotel is a 10-minute walk down that road. That's it for now, for good, I guess. I hope you've enjoyed Luxembourg. I know Stacy and I have.